Hello, everybody. Mike from Southern California again, and you're on the mic. So today I'm going to talk about a story that came out over the weekend in the Dallas Morning News in regards to Vic's defamation case. A very biased article, obviously. They only gave one side of the story, and they omitted a number of facts. I'm also going to look back over the accusations and point out some of the logical flaws in those statements as to why it's just more lies and hearsay. So here we go. So over the weekend, Dallas Morning News, posted an article um, giving Monica and Jamie's side of the story. The problem is that this is a very biased article, and the reason I believe they did this was to poison the jury pool, try to get it out of the Dallas court. I think it's become very apparent to the defendants that they're not going to win in this courtroom. The judge just does not seem the type to take BS, and when you look at the results, you'd say that yes, Ty is winning here. When they had the first hearing over the depositions, it was a draw. Ty may not have got everything, but neither did they. It was a compromise in which they agreed that all three would be deposed before the TCPA was filed. But Ty gave in and let Vic be deposed first. As everybody remembers, the concern was they were going to depose Vic and then just shut him down by filing the TCPA. But once the judge got Casey Eric to basically promise he wouldn't do that, then he was locked in. Because as everybody knows, a judge's contempt of court powers are very broad. So if he came back and he tried what Ty believed they planned, he would have been in contempt of court and been in very big trouble. Then more recently, of course, Ty was asking for an extension because of all the documents that he had to review in order to file his motions to strike. Not only did he get what he wanted, he was originally asking for a 3-week extension. Originally, the TCPA and the motions to strike were all set to happen on August 8th. He was asking for a 3-week extension. He basically got a month extension to September 6th. Ty has to file his motions to strike, of course, by August 30th. The judge asked him for a checklist. Now, in going to the article, of course, article left out a whole lot of details, a whole lot of key details. Like in Monica's case, they talked about how she claimed Vic assaulted her, but they left out the part where Stan Dolan, her witness, mind you, pretty much refuted what she said. He basically came out and said he did. Now a lot of people on the other side are going to say, "Well, he just said he didn't remember. He didn't say it didn't happen." Well, no, he pretty much, I think in his statement there, he pretty much did say that it didn't happen as Monica portrayed it. And that's a key point there. Not only that, but he also refuted one of the other affiants, and basically impeached him, Fazel Ahmed, who, by the way, has a history, even though he wasn't convicted, does have a history having issues with honesty. He was arrested and tried for filing a false police report. And basically the main girl in his story came out and refuted him, Erica. So, it's funny though how each time they get caught in a lie, they try to change their story to get around that lie. Okay? Now, what I'm going to look at here, too, we've all gone over the evidence. Everybody knows the evidence. Everybody heard the evidence. You know, we've heard Monica's story. We've heard Jamie's story. We've heard Jesse Pridemore's story. And we've heard Kara Edwards' story. And it's pretty clear that they are lying. It's pretty clear that they are lying. And the reason, and this story was, this story in going to the Dallas Morning News really wasn't meant to inform people. It was meant to serve two purposes. The first purpose was to further smear Vic by just painting the most graphically horrid picture they possibly could. The second was to try to possibly poison the jury pool. To try to get it out there, get the story out there, and maybe get their SJW friends to rally, behind them with this, where the defendant's whole case is built on lies and hearsay. Okay? Now, I'm going to explain that here by breaking down each story. So, in Monica's case, she claimed Vic assaulted her back in 2007, in his hotel room at IzumiCon. Now, as everybody knows, Stan Dolan has refuted this story. Now, from a logical perspective, and from some other aspects here's some other logical aspect why the story is bullshit. Excuse my French. Even if you take Stan Dolan out of the equation, there would have likely, at a hotel like this, there would have likely been security cameras in the hallways that would have most likely recorded Monica coming out of Vic's room, and there would have been definite video evidence of any kind of distress. Any kind of distress on her face, showing that, she was, not happy about something. Okay? Another point of logic, and this is another point of logic that will come out in all of these stories. If Vic was this monster they want everybody to believe, why would they continue to put themselves in situations where they're around him? Monica supposedly later that night after the dinner party that Stan came to get them for, actually went back to the Vic's room voluntarily to talk to Vic's fiance at the time, Michelle. If Vic was this raging monster who was liable to snap and just pounce on you at any moment, why go back to his room with him alone? Okay, you're either lying, and even Stan Dolan had said that not only does he not have any recollection of this event happening, but if he had heard about it, he would not have invited them back. He would not have let this continue on. And even points out in the same way, because he also apparently worked for Anime Week in Atlanta, where Faisal Ahmed, again, he noted how Faisal Ahmed didn't have any objections. If he was this if Vic was this monster they keep saying he is, they would have came out a lot sooner. And it's also logically bad for them, because what that basically says is, if they believed him to be this monster, this dangerous monster, guess what? that means they put their own fan. That shows you how much they care about their own fans. They put their own female fans in harm's way. So either they're lying, they're delusional, or it didn't happen. Goes under. They're either lying or they're delusional. Or if it did happen, then they're just as guilty for letting it happen to other people. But all the evidence is, and the logic of the evidence is pointing to the fact that they're lying. Okay? Let's look at Jamie Markey's situation. She claimed that Vic pulled her hair, when they were passing each other during a recording session. Like, she was coming out of it, he was coming in. And everybody on Law Twitter and Kick Vic loved to say, "Oh yeah, he admitted to pulling her hair. He admitted to, no, he did not admit to pulling her. He admitted to touching her hair. He did flip it up, but he's always denied that he's never pulled her hair or Jesse Pridemore's. And again, this supposedly happened during business hours in a business lobby. And let me tell you logically why Jamie's statement doesn't hold water. Okay? During business hours in a business lobby, there would have been likely 1 to 2 other people there. There would have been at least a receptionist and or a security guard there. There also would have definitely been security cameras. And the reason being because they're not just, no Joe Blow, whether it's me, whether it's you, whether it's a guy down the street, whether it's a girl around the corner, you're not just gonna be allowed to walk into a place of business and just make your way around it like you own the place, okay? Most places have some kind of reception area that has at least a receptionist there, if not also a security guard nearby. And if the reception asks you what you're doing there and you don't answer them and you just try to walk through like you own the place, like you have every right to be there, they'll call security and security will escort you out. Aside from that, of course, in a place of business, they would also very likely have security cameras that would have definitely recorded said incident. Yet we haven't seen any video evidence whatsoever of Vic pulling hair. And I know there is one piece of... okay. Let me restate that, because I know Kick Vic will point to a situation where Vic was shown pulling Wendy Powell's hair at a convention. That was with her consent, because they were actually replaying a scene in which it was actually reversed. They were replaying a scene from Full Metal Alchemist where Envy, who is voiced by Wendy Powell, had Edward, who is voiced by Vic Mignogna, by the hair. And some fans had asked them to kind of recreate that scene, just switching characters around, and they both obliged. But Vic has never acted violently, and he's never pulled hair violently towards anybody. Now, I met Vic back in 2006 and was going to conventions for a while. And I myself had a chance to personally observe his behavior. What I can tell you from my observations, all this stuff they're saying about him is baloney. Okay? Again, going back to Jamie Markey, if he did... Now, what he admitted to is he admitted to flicking her hair. He admitted to doing something like that. He basically noticed, hey, you have nice hair. Just took it like maybe in his fingers or something like that, just flicked it, but nothing violent. And again, being that this is a place of business, there would have likely been a video camera that would have recorded the incident if it did happen as Jamie said, and there would be video evidence to corroborate her statement. But yet we haven't seen that video evidence. Okay? Again, the Jesse Pridemore situation where she claimed Vic pulled her hair in the same manner. Not only do we not have other people saying that yes, you saw him do that, but and I know everybody likes to say, well, eyewitness testimony is evidence. Well, not totally. Well, okay. First off, it's considered statistically, it's considered the least reliable form of evidence, especially the longer you go, because the memory has a tendency to fade or to color things in a different way. Okay, that's why most cases are not determined on just eyewitness testimony alone at this point. Okay. Plus, there would have been cameras there again recording the situation. Somebody would have either recorded it if it did happen, and we would have already seen that evidence already. But even if that happened live in front of people, somebody would have security would have gotten involved pretty quickly. They wouldn't have just let him do that. They would have stepped in. They would have separated them too. They would have probably ended up calling the police, and a police report would have more than likely been filed. Because it was right out in the open to where everybody could see it. And yet, again, no police reports, no video evidence, nothing to really corroborate Jesse Pridemore's story. Then we look at Kara Edwards' story. Kara Edwards claimed that in 2008, Vic tried to assault her. He tried to convince her to, and he apparently scared her so much that she had to sit in the shower with the water running. Okay. But yet, she found herself in apparently the same situation 2 years later. In fact, there's video evidence actually showing Kara on good terms with Vic as late as 2012, because there's a video out there where I think it was in 2012 at a con in 2012 where she's not only flirting, she's really flirting with Vic, and she was also flirting with Kyle. And then, of course, we know from the 2010 Animazement con where she initiated tango that everybody's up in arms about. She initiated tango. If he supposedly frightened her so much in 2008, then why is she going anywhere near him after that? 2010, 2012. We even heard the story where she was being considered for the part of Dr. McKenna in Star Trek, and she was apparently, I mean, again, logically, you ask yourself this. If he was this monster, why would she want to take a job from him? If Vic was this monster that they keep saying that he is, why would she want to put herself under his authority? I mean, it's not just the evidence you have to look at. You have to look at the logic of the evidence. Does the story really make sense? There have even been real victims who've come out and basically condemned all these stories. In one form or another, every accusation that's come out against Vic has been debunked. And it's not been all that hard to debunk them when you look at the logical reasoning of the accusations. That's the one thing Kick Vic won't acknowledge. You know, they'll solicit guys like T. Greg Duchette and Mike Dunford and Akiva Cohen and all these law Twitter guys to try to say how Ty is wrong on the law. Well, Ty knows more about Texas law than any of those guys because he's a practicing Texas lawyer, whereas from what I understand, especially in the case of Duchette and Dunford, they haven't even been in court all that much. In fact, I think it's been a proven fact that apparently Duchette can't read the room with garbage because he even tried his hand at politics and failed at that. So anyways, the one thing I want to leave you guys with in all this is when you're looking at evidence, also look at the logical reasoning behind the evidence. And look at some of the motivations as to why, I think even in Monica's deposition, we saw a clear sign of why they're doing this to Vic. It is out of jealousy. She kind of had that little smart remark about, I'm the main character, and yet his name's on the box, and, for Tsubasa, and mine isn't. Really? Why this is just out of jealousy? Because fans overall love Vic more. Yeah, there's a strong contingent in Kick Vic. I'm not going to deny that. There aren't people, the funny thing is there have been whispers about this stuff going on for years. From a lot of people who had nothing better to do with their time than to try to tear a man down. But now they've got more traction because now some of the VAs have gotten involved in it. And there's been video evidence showing their contradictory behavior. Lately, the latest being J. Michael Tatum coming out and basically just coming down on Vic. When back in 2014, he was praising Vic as somebody who was a mentor to him. This is how you pay back somebody who mentored you? By stabbing him in the back, J. Michael? Kick Vic and Me Too are a bunch of idiots who basically need to go away. It's just that simple. They really have no real productive value to our society. And that's the truth. Anyways, you should check out the links below. If you want to contact me directly, you can DM me at my my Twitter handle will be down there. I'm also promoting Fantasy Soft, and I'll probably in the near future here I'll probably be adding some other companies for you guys to support because in the future, probably sometime in the near future, I'm going to do one of the videos I'll be doing coming up is what I call the cost of corruption, which is going to talk about Funimation and Rooster Teeth. But I just haven't decided when I'm doing that because, as you know, news comes out at times hard and fast, and you got to cover it as it comes. And this story that came out of the Dallas Morning News was a hot one that needed to be covered. Also, I'm also promoting the GoFundMe's. Don't ever feel pressured to donate. If it's on your heart to do so, please consider donating. If you've already donated, please consider donating again. As well as, and if you're not in a position to donate, at least help share the link, to see if maybe you have contacts within your own networks that may feel like they want to help give to the situation. And as always, if you like this content, please like, comment, share, and subscribe. I would look forward to the conversations with you guys. And with that, I will see you guys tomorrow. Take care. Because you're on the mic. Let's keep the conversation going.